The model of Safe Families Guelph-Wellington is to walk alongside local churches. We really desire to see our local churches increasing their compassion ministry. It's such a beautiful thing to see churches engaging with our families, with the Guelph-Wellington chapter. And we really truly desire that our families are drawn into that church community as well. And it's such an important thing to us to see that churches are engaged with their community and are able to offer that Christian love to those in need around us. As churches, we are called to care for the orphan and the widow, and that's a really high calling. It's not something that's easy. It's not something that everyone's really comfortable with, and yet it's something we're commanded to do, and it's something that really, once we've walked alongside the family, it is truly beautiful. There's so many areas of growth that we can't even anticipate ourselves, and then as we journey along, we see the growth not only in the families we're serving, but in ourselves, in our faith, and in our families as well. And that's a beautiful, really incredible place to be in our community and in our culture, where so often churches are pushed out of culture and pushed out of mainstream conversations. It's not what's important in today's world, but yet we know that Christ is center. And to be able to bring that to families is a true privilege. So whenever we called into a family, we really, our initial goals are to help them with practical needs, emotional needs. We're there to listen, to care for them. But really, our desire is to share that gospel and to share that love. And sometimes that love and that gospel is shared in words, and sometimes it's shared in actions. And this past fall, there was a really beautiful example within one of our families. Sherry was a family we were walking alongside, and she took in her niece, Addie. Addie was 14 years old, and a large request was put out to the church asking, hey, can you help? Addie was going in for surgery, significant surgery on her back, and Sherry really had no one around her. The hospital was requiring that there was going to be 24/7 care needed for Addie post-surgery, 3 weeks, and Sherry's looking at us going, I can't offer that to Addie, and if I can't offer that, she can't have surgery. At that moment, I felt like the answer really was the church. In the church, there are so many loving, kind, generous people that want to help, that want to assist, don't always know how to or where to engage. And that's how Safe Families kind of becomes that transition piece. We can connect the church to these families. And that was the exact example with Sherry and Addie. So a call went out to the church. We were asking people an out-of-the-box question. Could you sit with Addie for a time after her surgery? Come for a shift, sit with a stranger, love her, and care for her. We ended up having 26 people who filled 37 shifts over the course of 3 weeks. There was barely ever a time that Addie was alone at the hospital, maybe a few hours here and there, but really, she was pretty much cared for the entire time by people from within our churches that we're partnered with Safe Families. And it actually blew everyone away that was in that situation. At one point, a nurse came to Sherry and she asked, who were all these people? Where are they coming from? And Sherry explained who Safe Families was, and the nurse broke down crying. And she said, this is a true example of love and community. So we had lots of volunteers coming for time, taking shifts for Addie. We ended up having more food than what could fit in Sherry's freezer. There was about $1,800 collected in cash and in gift cards. The cash was used by Sherry. She needed to purchase clothing for Addie for post-surgery and recovery time. She needed a back brace as well, and she also needed a new mattress and a bed that was suitable for recovery. So without you being able to give in so many various ways, there were money and gas cards and time, and there was clothing coming and gift bags for Addie in the hospital. without you being able to do those things and being willing to do those things and desiring to give that, the surgery would not have been possible for Addie. And now she's just flourishing. She came home from the hospital. She was there for 3 weeks. She came home, and I think within the week she was back to school, which was incredible. She's just such a trooper. She just keeps going, and I know that Sherry and Addie are so thankful and so in awe that this whole community that does not know her completely surrounded her and cared for her in this time. I received a text from Sherry at one point, and it said, "In hindsight, I can see that God has been working on my heart for the last year. I'm going to take a walk now and have a good chat with him." You know, when we started working with Sherry, there was zero interest in faith, zero interest in God or church or anything like that. And over the course of time, obviously the Lord had been working in her heart and softening that heart and drawing her closer to him, even though she didn't even realize it. And it's been beautiful. I've sat down with her myself, prayed with her, taught her how to pray, read the Bible with. You know, I'm not driving that for her. She's now picking up on that, and she's texting me saying, I'm praying today, and I'm seeing God working today. And you know, and this is where the church comes in. And it was a beautiful reminder to see the church so incredibly wrapping around this family. Like, you gave food to a stranger, you clothed a stranger. I do know that the Lord was at work in miraculous ways in her life, and I pray that he was also at work in your life. And knowing that the church stepped up to its call. And that to me shows Christ's love and what's capable through Christ's love.